Hello? Hi, guys. That was fucking bizarre. My entire computer just froze, so whatever I had done in Wonderdraft is now gone, which is great. But yeah, that was really bizarre. Thank you for that, Marnian. Hold on, I'm gonna bring up my tunes now. Sorry about that. That literally has never happened to me before. Very weird. My tunes. As I was getting ready to say, Greyhawk in old school D&D was set after an apocalyptic event. It wasn't even my internet, it was just my fucking computer. Yeah, when you're working on something and now it's gone. Goodbye. Let's see. I didn't do that much anyway, so it should be okay. That was so weird. Like, really, really weird. So sorry about that, guys. I couldn't find my my mouse for a second. I was like, did my fucking computer freeze again? I'm gonna start thrashing. I will, Weasel. Wonderdraft, yeah, it's made by the same people who make Dungeon Draft, and I've had Dungeon Draft. Really? I've never had it. Maybe it's because I'm streaming at the same time, but it's never happened to me before. Very weird. What happened? My computer just froze. Not sure why. This for some. She kicked us all out, but then thought, but yeah, I was like, damn, these guys pay my bills, huh? Yeah, now the forest is actually dead. It's fucking gone. All right, let's redo some of what we had done. You're using Wonder? Yeah, I'm using Wonderdraft. It's not that. I don't think it's that like resource heavy. That's very weird. Okay, though, I didn't really do too much. Hi, Lady M! I think maybe it's just I have too much, like, running right now. It just had, like, a little hiccup. Could have been that. Like, forgot what I was talking about, too. I, like, it threw me off my rhythm. Let's just let's just save preemptively. I was talking about dead trees. Yeah, them trees be dead. I think I had like a fairly large mountain coming down here, and we erased some of these trees actually. But we're gonna sparse these out a little bit more, especially along the coastline. Just keep saving. We'll just keep saving, guys. It's fine. Man, that was annoying. I'm mad. Literally, though. Okay. Save. We are going to add Some more trees, maybe a little bit. A little bit more random. Got 2 shoutouts from that's because it reset, you ding dong. Beat it into working. I mean, I think I might have. I'm gonna have to lay down the law, honestly. All right, I think I like that. I'm paranoid. I am going to fight with my non-bread though. Non-bread left beef. You know what I mean? I think we're going to be a little bit more deliberate about where we put these ones this time. Hi, I'm new here, but as a fellow DM, what is your perspective? Do you think winged demons or tieflings have a hand-to-hand advantage or disadvantage to their wings? That's interesting. I think if you're making them make dex throws, like any sort of dex check, it actually might be more probably a bit more difficult. You know, you're working with more body, essentially. You're bigger. You have to account for a lot more with like your wings in fights. So I would say probably disadvantage. Do they have the wings out or can they retract? Oh, that's also a good question. Although I would say perhaps a tail could be useful in a combat, in like a hand-to-hand combat situation. I like to think is was it prehensile? I like when my tails are prehensile and can like move and like pick things up. So if any of my players ever played a tiefling, I would be like, yeah, you could totally like pick like, I don't know, like 10 something that's like 10 pounds up with your tail. We're saving again. Don't worry about it. I'm paranoid. Mind your business. Hello, Dragon Craze. Welcome on in. I would say no because I imagine a trained warrior is going to be cognizant of their flaws and their stat block would reflect that. Narratively, do what you want. Totally. I also think it's like no other like race / lineage has like a disadvantage due to their like physical form. But it is like if like your player is cool with having that sort of either advantage or disadvantage and can like RP that, I think that's like a really cool like little flavor that you could add. Wonder Draft? Yes, this is Wonder Draft. Cold Cloak style. Biggest issue I see, grappling would give extra targets. Wings can be used as extra elbows or strikes, and the wings can be used as blowing or quick burst movement. Yeah, I think that like it's a good idea, I think. Like as long as like, you know, it's if you're going to give your play like it's like you may want to make sure that's a balanced thing, you know. If you're gonna give your player who is a tiefling maybe an extra attack, you also have to make it you also have to give them a flaw as well, which I think you understand, obviously. So Oh, cool. Also, yeah, I love this program. It's very simple. It's very easy to use. I've been thinking about trying out Incarnate because I actually haven't tried that out yet. But this one I have like a bunch of assets for, and it's just like easy for me to use right now. So I haven't found like a reason yet to move over. But I definitely probably will try it out in the future. I would flavor grapple as holding on. Yeah, you can even like flavor it. It doesn't actually have any like mechanical benefits either. Also, apologies. It is dinner time for me, so I will be munching intermittently. Okay. Yeah, Dragon. That's really why I hadn't bit the bullet on Incarnate yet, is because it's like is it like a monthly, yearly subscription? Is it subscription based? Yeah, so yeah, that's like why I hadn't bitten the bullet yet. I've only recently started like DMing and like making my own maps, so it just hadn't made sense for me to pay money into something I wasn't sure I was going to be using all the time. But as I'm starting to get more and more into map making, I might, especially for like combat maps, I feel like Incarnate is a lot better for combat maps than Dungeon Draft is. There's free tier, sub tier for Incarnate. Oh, okay. I feel like when I had checked, like there wasn't. I just don't like the art style. Wonder Draft allows for custom assets at least, and there's a huge market. I have I found, and you can find a lot of free assets too, which is really nice for Wonder Draft. But yeah, I'm trying to get into Dungeon Draft. I've made a couple of maps with it, like some combat maps with Dungeon Draft, and I think I need to get the hang of it. And I'm a lot more rusty when it comes to combat maps versus world maps. I feel like I grasp world maps a lot better than I do combat maps. Thank you for your perspective on building this for a world where all the players are playing the same race by some majority of the population. Most are, yeah, no worries, man. If you ever have any questions, I mean, I'm not like a seasoned DM in any means, but I have played quite a few games. So I'm a seasoned player. I'm well seasoned. Oh, thanks, Rad. I made a map on Dungeon Draft that was used for a friend stream, so that felt, oh, that's so dope. Like, that's mine. I did that. I love that. Seasoned like this buttered chicken. Which season? Salt and pepper? City, I know I'm white, but you don't have to say it like that. Make some little ones go off onto this island. Also, Wonder Draft and Dungeon Draft can be imported directly into Foundry. So I don't use any VTT. Not like the formal ones. I use Owlbear Rodeo for map sharing. I have like I've got a love-hate with the various VTT that are used. Specifically Fantasy Grounds. Wait, people season their chicken? Wait, you guys are seasoning your food? Okay. So we were thinking this area was going to be... I saved and the sound scared me. Even as a joke, that hurts. I learned my Polish friends to... Oh my, they don't use salt or pepper? That's really sad. Like, what the fuck? I need some salt, man. I'm a salt girl. Give me that sodium, baby. Which VTT does the one we were using for dinglings was One More Multiverse. I think that's what it's called. Hey, Vlad. Thanks, Vlad. How's it going, Vlad? But yeah, like I like finding my own maps. Wow. I like finding my own maps or making my own maps and being able to use those. And I like my players to be able to just like use, like, I don't want them to have to download a program to be able to like view a map when it's literally, they're just moving their tokens around. Like, it's nothing, like, we're not doing anything like fucking groundbreaking here. We're just I'm letting them move their tokens around for a combat scene. I don't feel the need for a VTT at this point for my group. Also, did Lady M get a shout out? If Lady M didn't get a shout out, please throw her a shout out for me. Foundry, yeah, I know Foundry doesn't need to be downloaded. It's not free though, is it? I think that's what I like about it, is that I get to be super lazy with it. Lady M gets all of the shoutouts now. I will say I'm glad Beyond put a map system in it. It's so much easier. I'm interested to check out the D&D Beyond map system. I have to upgrade my subscription to do that, though, and I'm not willing to do that at this point. And I'd rather wait for all of the kinks to sort of get worked out of that system before I decide to do that. I don't want to like pay for like a master subscription. I don't want to pay for a master subscription. I'm not going to end up actually using everything. Just one player has to buy Foundry, I believe, then just invite them. Yeah, so we use it for Secrets of the Fall. We use Foundry. But again, it's like Owlbear Rodeo's free. It's free and it works perfectly fine. I mean, obviously you can pay for it depending on the amount of games you want to run. Like, they have different, like, you pay if you want to have more than one quote unquote room, you have to pay for the additional room. But I'm only running the one game right now, and I don't need to at this point. Either of mine. See, I might push some buttons with this. Depending on the game, depending on the combat, I fucking hate Theater of the Mind. Especially for stream games. I think Theater of the Mind bogs down gameplay. Having to explain where things are bogs it down. Especially for stream games. It makes it like, if you step away for a moment, you suddenly don't know what's going on. And my little ADHD-tism brain can't handle that. I have very strong feelings about Theater of the Mind. But that's not to say that, like, all Theater of the Mind is bad. Like, if you're only doing, like, a combat with, like, one singular, like, enemy, it's like, I'm just having a combat with a fucking goblin. It's like, yeah, you don't really need a map for that. I think it's gonna be fine. But for the most part, I like to have a map. I like to know, like, because it's, especially when it comes to planning, especially if for a game where you're going to be very strict on the rules. If you're going to be loosey-goosey with the rules and combat, okay, yeah, fine. Theater of the Mind can work that way. If you're going to be like, if your DM's going to be like, oh no, the enemy is about, the enemy's about 45 feet away from you. And you had been planning on, like, casting a spell that had a range of 30 feet. Operating under the assumption that the enemy was within range of you. And it's like, well, fuck, now I have to take more time to rethink what I'm doing. I think the next time I play Theater of the Mind, I'm gonna be a blind character. That'd be actually really cool. I've read about some people doing characters who are like blind or deaf, and it's a very interesting thing because obviously like you're playing with a disadvantage in some aspects, but in that case, then it's really more of a like it's more of an RP like opportunity, right? Chromie, I absolutely agree. If someone is using is running Theater of the Mind combat and using grid-based combat, I think they're doing it wrong. Mm-hmm. Could use zone. Yeah, zones is a very good way to work around that. But a lot of the times, any like DM that I've like had that has run Theater of the Mind, they don't use it that way, which has made combat like such a slog to get through. Sounds very sensory based. I like it. Yeah, it'd be very interesting. You would get like disadvantage on perception checks based on seeing, but maybe advantage on perception checks based on hearing. My question would be, why not just pay someone to greater restoration on you? They're poor. That's the answer. They're poor. Who are they going to pay? They don't got money. Should we add some trees onto these little islands as well? The universe, truly. Like a greater restoration spell? That's like at least 1,000 gold, no? Most fun I ever had with a character was one who had 6 curse items by the time we got to level 5. Don't talk like that because Mornian's really going to start to push for me to give him a cursed object.
Thanks for lurking, Zippy.
Now I have to cook up a good cursed object for Mornian. What's his class, Bard? Little baby Bard. As long as it isn't a tapeworm. That's not... Donnie's not the tapeworm. The tapeworm's Slurpy Slurp. I have a good item idea. Okay. Am I being approached? You may approach the bench. I don't think anyone can hear you. It's actually really funny. Send me that. Mornian, he gave me a pretty good one. I ran an OSC game. Dungeon was someone magic ring maker's place, and he'd put traps everywhere. One player kept putting on all the cursed rings on. No! I've had so many instances in various D&D games where we've come across a cursed object and I've rolled like a check and the DM's been like, yeah, this is a weird thing. You feel off, like it's off-putting to you. And then I've had like a party member be like, I touched the object, and I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Well, great. We're gonna have to deal with this for the next 5 to 10 sessions. Why stop after? Some people do like, and I appreciate those people. I'm very wary when it comes to doing like life altering, and I have to get like over this, like life altering, quote unquote, life altering for my character. Things when it comes to like long-term campaigns, because like I don't want to fuck it up for everyone else, but I know that like accepting like the bad things that happen, it's part of the ride, you know? But I still get very nervous because I don't ever want to like cause an issue for other members of the party. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of like roleplay opportunity to be had when it comes to cursed objects. I thought it's just, you just paused me. It's fine. Aldono 20. I'm not going to give it to him yet. We have 4 more seasons to go. 4.5 more seasons to go. He will get it eventually. Okay, decided to dig it up. Greater Restoration. Snooze that really quick. Greater Restoration is a 5th level spell that requires 100 gold pieces. I'd use Xanathar's or Minsk Villainy supplement for a 5th level spell scroll, so maybe 1,000 to 2,000 gold for it to cast that spell. Someone who loves spell components, it's not even a big deal, really, with that spell focus. So that's if you want to do like a spell scroll. If you want to pay someone to do that, I imagine it would be maybe more, because you're paying for a service rather than casting the spell yourself. But I think that's more DM discretion than anything else. Yeah. I would happily accept if you have, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna force it on you. And 2, you probably won't know what it is when you pick it up. That's the point of like a cursed object, is you don't really know it's cursed until you actually touch it. I do have a bunch of objects. I have a bunch of treasure for you guys for next session. And I'm really excited about it because I spent like a lot of time today looking through stuff to give you guys. For you to find, maybe. If you find it, there's a chance you won't. And then that's not my problem. That's not where that needs to go. Treasure. I know, treasure. Yeah, I'm very excited. For anyone who doesn't know, Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. Pacific, you can catch us here on this channel playing a homebrew campaign, D&D 5e campaign, DM'd by me with all my friends. GMFia, I feel like that's a good enough range for me, really. Since I ran with gritty rolls and rest rules, it made spell components precious and led to players searching themselves for specific stuff, which is always fun for me. So how I run spells is if the component has no monetary value next to it and you have either a spell focus or a spell component pouch, then you can cast the spell no problem. However, if you're trying to cast a spell and it has, and like let's say it says you need a diamond worth 500 gold pieces, you need to have a diamond worth 500 gold pieces in order to cast that spell. I know some GMs are a little blasé about that, but I don't want them to be able to cast like Revivify willy-nilly. Like that's a precious spell. And you should treat it as a precious spell. Do you have a list of house rules? I do have a list. I don't have it. It's on like a little sticky note that I use. Haha. There's it's not a command, it's just like a timed message, I think I have it set as. Let me see if I can pull up my rules. If you ever play with me and see me get really excited, hyper-focused on an item, it's because I, as a player, realize it's cursed and I'm trying to figure out how to get it without metagaming. That's fair. Hi, Cookie! Unless it's me, then use that revivify on me, please. So valid. Oh, see, it just popped up. Aha. But yeah, so a couple of my rules, it's not super long. Flanking grants you advantage, and I rule flanking as if an enemy is engaged with someone else and you come up from any direction and attack them, that's flanking for me. I know sometimes it's like people are sticklers where it's like you have to be like if someone's in front of them, you only can get advantage by attacking from directly behind them. You can attack from any direction and you'll get advantage as long as that person is distracted with someone else in front of them. Obviously, drinking potions is a bonus action. Administering a potion to someone else is an action. That applies for like all potions. You can only provide advantage to another player during a roll if you are proficient in the skill. So if someone's making a nature check and you're like, hey, I want to help them out, you can only do so if you're proficient in nature. Advantages and disadvantages stack. So any advantage or disadvantage added to an existing advantage or disadvantage garners a +2 or -2 to the roll. So if you're flanking an enemy and that had just had guiding bolt casted on it, you get advantage and then you get an additional +2 to that roll. And then critical hits, normal damage is maximized and critical damage is rolled and added. And then we also use lingering injuries and massive damage table. I don't know if this is a raw rule, but only 2 short rests are allowed in between long rests. I don't want, like, if there's like a warlock character or someone who benefits greatly from short rests, I don't want them abusing that. We use lingering when it's pulled up. Listen, that was my first session. Eat my entire asshole. And then another rule I use is that death rolls are private between DM and player. So if you are doing a death roll, hey creature, hey buddy. So yeah, if you're doing a death saving throw, only myself and the player know what the outcome of that roll is, because I don't like it when you're in the middle of combat, someone has gone down, and you're like, oh, they've succeeded on 2 of their death saves. They're fine. Like, we can wait to get them up. It's like, no, I want you to think that they are dying right now. It's imminent that you do something to help them. Secrets, yeah, secrets. But yeah, so I have an ad coming up, so we're gonna run a quick ad. I need to get Word Game back up because my computer shit the bed. So I will be right back. I will see you guys in 3 minutes. Stick around. We have Word Game. And I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, bye!
Some look to the sky for truth. I look across the room. Katie's dressing for blue, yellows and blues. prefer kick drums and red wine. I prefer kick drums and red wine. I prefer kick drums and red wine. I prefer kick drums and red wine. Some people fight it with devotion, some with gold and some with bourbon. Some like praying to the blue skies, some like putting on a disguise. But I prefer kick drums and red wine. 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 Drums and red wine. I prefer kick drums and red wine. I prefer kick drums and red wine. I prefer kick drums and red wine.
like shoved naan in my face. I definitely had lipstick smeared everywhere. I think I got it all though. It's fine. The one thing that sucks about having a lip piercing is trying to put lipstick around it. Anyway, hi guys.
Thanks, Morning. Thanks. Big preach.
Oh, bad. Thank you. So, I'm liking how this is looking so far.
This one's for all my baby girls. I see your comments, ladies,
Chad.
and they make me smile.
Oh, I forgot that came out this week, right? This week? I'm surprised Bones isn't all up in that. Oh, last week. I never got into the original City Skylines, but I think I do have City Skylines 2 on like my wish list. Because I love builders, dude. On game. Oh, it is on Game Pass. You want to do some hills, maybe? I don't know. City of Angels. You should really check out what performance is like for City Skyline. Why? I like to watch the eventual decay of society. Some city valid. Or 90 cards are ooh. Morning, have you been having issues with it? Maybe it was a glitch on release and they fixed it. I still remember playing SimCity back in 1991 on my 386. Hi, Night. I love like the Sims. Like I love like any sort of like sim game, like specifically like The Sims. I played like The Sims 1 when I was like 9 and had no business probably playing that game. There's a funny thing. People are saying the game is rendering. Oh my teeth. Teeth. Did you play Sim Earth or no? I used to play like Roller Coaster Tycoon too. That was another one that was so much fucking fun. Or Zoo Tycoon.
God, those are a lot of fun. Those are good games. I like playing those games. I like making the lines long and making all this stuff.
Dino Park. Live forever, live. What happens if the fence around the lion enclosure is 2 feet high? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's experiment. I think hilarity would ensue. It would just be like a little fun haha, you know? It's like, hi, hee hee. Woohoo. It would just be like a little silly goofy thing, you know? It wouldn't be that serious. Funny haha or funny uh-oh? I mean, depending on if you're the one getting eaten by the lion or not. It could go either way. So I made me a coffee to use the caffeine to help me sleep tonight because sleep has been keeping me extra distant all week, and I'm sleepy now, and it's still too hot to drink. You should just go to sleep right now. If you are sleepy now, take advantage of being sleepy. If we live forever, let us live forever. If I go to sleep now, I'll be awake in 2 hours. That's terrible. Oh, it's only 9 for you guys. I don't know why. I was thinking it was like a lot. I thought it was like 7 o'clock here, my time. Also, I was watching, this is like, this probably, none of you probably care about this, but I care about it, so I'm gonna talk about it. I was watching a streamer I really like, Luxy Games, and her friends were doing like almost like, it was like a little book club thing today where they were talking about this book called The Fourth Wing. And I have had no interest in reading that book because I've heard like bad things about it on TikTok. However, they were doing like a review of it, and it actually made me sort of low-key want to read the book. And I think that's probably what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to buy the book and read it tonight. Hi, cars. All cars. Not all cars. Hashtag not all cars. Kind of like this. It's like nice, a nice little hill land. Nice little hills. In the back. Just as... Even Civics, especially Civics. Even Camrys. Here in my car, I feel safest of all. You remember Hummers, dude? I saw someone in our year of the Lord 2020 fucking 3 driving around in a Hummer like 2 months ago. You remember that, babe? The year of our Lord 2023, someone was still driving around in a Hummer. Huh? I think it was an H3, yeah. It was like the newer one. Newer. But yeah, I saw that shit and I was like, what year is it? What's going on here? I know, gas is so expensive. Listen, I drive a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I think we put, I think $50 in my gas tank. I was like almost at empty, and I was like, I'm just gonna put $50 in. And I think it only gave me like a quarter of a tank. I remember when they were all the rage, right? The early 90s and early 2000s. My elementary school has a 12% dropout rate. What the fuck? It's completely out of context. Everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who's letting these 10-year-olds drop out of elementary school? My low-key soul gets 40 miles. See, that's pretty good. My poor Jeep Grand Cherokee just plugging along, baby. I'm trying to think of what we need to do. Some lakes and such too. We need some water. Although I don't think I like how this water looks. Yeah, I don't like how that looks. I think that's what I use the land tool instead for it, because I like the hard outline around it. My legs get all the kilometer with me only drinking a liter of gas. Weasel, please stop drinking gas. Stop drinking gas and stop stirring your soup with Sharpies, please. Someday I'll learn how to drive. You don't know how to drive? Oh, that's fair. City life. Very valid. A giant cat. He got stolen back in early '07. The thing got 12 miles per gallon in the city. Oh. I'll stop. I appreciate that, Weasel. I appreciate this commitment that you just made to me live on stream. Thinking. I feel like I do a lot of like water, like lakes and stuff that are like right on the edge. I can't do that again, I feel. And the Lime video should be proof I stick to commitments that I make. That's very true. Maybe we'll do one, right? A very small one. Summer. This is actually no, we're not gonna put that there because this is supposed to be all desert. I make it like lighter? Should I make the desert lighter or darker? You know what country has more rock, tree, and water than this one? Canada? Is it Canada? Did I guess it right? Darker sand burns your feet more. Canada! Well, we wanted it to be like almost like an Arctic, not like more of a cold desert. So I think the sand would be lighter, no? Arctic. Just be frozen ground, permafrost. Hi, Dizzy. How's it going? Do I like this? Should I do darker? Pretty good. Just got back from nice. I'm doing pretty good. We're plugging. Oh, let me save. We're plugging away on this little map, trying to add some stuff. Trying to make it make sense, you know. I mean, I guess I don't even really need... Do I even need anything to demark a desert? Maybe this. Maybe this will be good. So, this is a map for my game. So... this area is where the current main campaign is taking place. However, I decided to start expanding upwards due to running a cheeky little one-shot for some other friends of mine taking place in my world. So I wanted them to be in an area that was different from the main campaign. Sand dunes, maybe large bones or ruins if you want. Ooh, that's true. Kind of makes me want to get rid of this stuff then. Get rid of this stuff. I'm changing my mind. An absence of deciduous forest and water? Yeah. That is actually a pretty good demarcation of a desert. Is there like a...
This one's for all my baby girls. I see your comments, ladies, and they make me smile.
Thanks, myriad.
Are you making custom monsters for your campaign? I have. I've made a couple. So a lot of the... Well, mostly everyone knows this in my campaign. A lot of the monsters are going to be like Fae-based, because the Fae are basically like, they are the enemy. So I've been able to either sort of cobble together monsters out of like existing things, or I've just been sort of making ones up on my own. The one big bad that I had used in my one shot previously was a thing of my own making, and I would say he kind of fucked up the group pretty badly. Agreed on the ruins. Yeah, the large bones. Not sure if I wanted... Maybe. I can always put it down and just see how it looks. This is called Playful Hills. Y'all want some Playful Hills? It's like I almost want it to be... I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like putting like little hills. Let's try this one. Maybe. I have a couple more down here. No, that has a tree on it. I was in a one-shot in the GM homebrew to big enemy undead succubus. Her name was Dommy Mummy. That's actually pretty funny. I'm realizing I do a lot of the same, like, quote-unquote techniques that I do with map making as I do with, like, actual art. I do a lot of, kind of, like, trimming up of things. So I'll just, like carving out. So I'll put a lot of line down and then I'll carve out of that line when I'm doing a drawing. And obviously I'm kind of doing that now with, like, the varying symbols. So I feel like there's a randomness you can get from the spray that you just can't get by just placing things down kind of willy-nilly. Literally look at the prairies in the winter. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go with, like, a traditional desert. I might like this area up here more tundra-y. Just because I do have an idea in my head for the one shot that I want to run, that it takes place in a And Ant, if you're still here, this is not going to be like spoilery. It'll be fine. It takes place in a very Avatar, a library hidden in the desert, but loosely based on Alice in Wonderland. That's a little bit. I like this. I think I like that. It's a little too. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I like that a lot. So we have our desert. I might... Yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't think... Because no other part of the map is, like, shaded in any way. So I just don't... Besides that part that I just... Dang. Yeah, I'm getting rid of, like, the different colors. I feel like it takes away from the map, actually, instead of adding anything to it. Yeah, I like that a lot better. I think having everything sort of one uniform color, because originally, like, my idea with this was like, this is supposed to be like a map that's like printed, or at least like a map that's been drawn, that like the players would be able to carry around with them. What map making thing is this? We are expanding on... Oh, it's Wonder Draft. Should be free, I think. I like it. It's not, I just think it's neat. Hi, Jay. Let's do some rivers. I just got, oh my god, it's late. Well, it's not that late. I keep thinking it's like 8 o'clock at night. I'm just losing my fucking mind, actually. Way to one that sort of leads out into the fjord. That works quite nicely. So this area obviously has a lot of rivers and heading for the fjords. This area has a lot of like bodies of water as well as like rivers and stuff. So I think I'm going to keep it fairly simple for this area. So I don't want to repeat a lot of the geographical nature that's down here, because this is essentially a different area. Back, I'm all clean. Amazing. Everyone in chat thanks you. We could smell you from here. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it like that. Jay. Uh-oh. Stinky. And I think once I start to add a lot of like the different landmarks, like cities and paths and roads, it'll probably start to come a little bit more together. So I think we're gonna finish with the. I think we're gonna finish with this map for now. I think we actually might. Well, maybe we'll discuss some one-shot things. What type of Fae enemies were you speaking of at this point? When I think of Fae, I think of Akatar. So funnily enough, one of the main like bad guys is sort of Akatar Fae. But no, I think of like both creatures so beautiful and creatures that are fucking terrifying. Like weird amalgamations of things that don't make sense. The bruise, yes, the bruise is gone. I decided that, so there is, ooh, I didn't almost drop that, it's fine. I decided that I'm still gonna have like the little crater here. However, I thought that the shading and stuff on the map was actually taking away from the map and not adding to it. So, speaking of, I just got Reese. Oh, Reese's knee tats the other, oh. That's dope. That's cool. Right, we're going to... Oh, well, if you want to join the Discord... Yep, Weasel's on top of it. Feel free to join. No pressure, though. We're a very chill group. But I love that fate. Yeah, I very much want them to be unsettling. The first Fae that the party have encountered, I try to play him as sort of unsettling. And the Fae are also very... They don't like mortals. Like, they are immortal beings. They akin themselves to gods. And... To them, mortals are like the worms beneath their feet. And I want to play them in that way. Obviously, there are going to be some outliers. Not all Fae are hashtag not all Fae. Not all Fae are gonna have that. Not all Fae are gonna have that same aversion.
Thanks for lurking, creep.
Not all Fae are going to have that aversion towards mortals, but a lot of them do, especially given past the recent like 1,000 years that have happened. He was a jerk, and he was meant to be a jerk. No, not the worms in their butts. They wouldn't even bless mortals with that status. Some Fae are just horny like Zeus. Hey, Ad, welcome in. How are you, bud? Ass worms. Ass worms. Ah. Thank you. I just like triple saved because I'm paranoid. Let's see. I have a couple of notes already for the one-shots. And... Alright, I drank the hot coffee. Time to... Good night, Weasel. I hope you're able to sleep more than 2 hours. I'm good. Just got done helping my friend. Nice! How'd that go? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. So yeah, I had pitched because obviously a lot of the... It was good. Obviously. So I had pitched the idea to Ant and M that we do the one-shot based off of like fairy tales, and I had asked them, I was like, what are your like favorite fairy tales? What are your favorite stories? And both of them had mentioned Alice in Wonderland, and Alice in Wonderland is like one of my absolute favorite stories ever. I read Through the Looking Glass probably to an obsessive amount. And I was trying to figure out how to incorporate like Alice in Wonderland into this setting, because I didn't want to do the traditional thing when you do an Alice in Wonderland inspired one shot where the party goes through a portal and they're in the Feywild. Like, because that's kind of like the easy route to go, right? You know, they find a portal, they go into the Feywild, things are topsy-turvy out there, and... Have you checked out the Neverland Hex? I have not. I didn't... What is that? One shot, one kill. I'm really married to the BBEG. Heidi, I told you last time, I can't get it out of my head. Well, aren't you running a Strahd campaign? Wouldn't that be a pretty interesting thing to run for a Strahd campaign? Google Neverland roleplay setting. Neverland role. Ooh! Oh my god, don't do this to me. Oh god, I love Peter Pan too, dude. I low-key would just run this as like a like a little short mini-series, maybe. That's so fucking cool. Why is my... I feel like my window capture is just all fucking wonky, dude. Why are you so wonky? Nah, talk about it. There you go. Wizard of Oz 2. Ooh. Give me that. Incredibly content-rich books you can. I love that. I love just being able to... I'm going to take this. I'm going to take that. Thank you. I think that after Strahd would be a great second adventure, or like it was overarching hand that's causing these things to happen, because in Strahd, all they refer to the deific beings as the dark power. Yeah. And like, obviously, like with modules like that, you're free to expand upon those in any way that you'd like, you know? Anyway. So... I like wish I could just like move this over without sacrificing. What the fuck happened to my background, dude? What's going on there? Why did you move? Why did you move, background? What are you doing? You're drunk. You're drunk. Okay, posted back. Thanks for the... Yeah. Go check it out. Oh, sick. Oh, dude. That's real good. That's real fucking cool, Dizzy. What are we looking at? We are looking at my Notion. This is where all of my my campaign stuff is. But there's nothing spoilery right here. I want to run Strahd more regularly, but we're entering the busy season, so I don't know when we get to... Aww. Yeah, that's rough. I want to run so many games. I want to run a Strahd campaign. I really want to run a Strahd campaign, but I don't think I'll be able to have the time until next year, probably after GaryCon. And so I'm kind of just... I'm just going to do one-shots, I think, instead, especially because the one-shots can kind of help me build everything. It was spoilery. Oh, no. I would have been like, Jay, avert your eyes. This is the spoilery stuff right here, is the campaign notes. Gary comes to snack on these nuts. Got him. Oh, thank you. Originally didn't want the wing. No, I think the wings are were like a perfect addition. You made it work, Ad. That's all that matters. You want this little baby? You want this little baby? we got a lot for you. Anyway. So, like I said, the idea was for this to be an Alice in Wonderland inspired one-shot. I was actually thinking of making a bunch of the one-shots sort of fairy tale centric. So having a bunch of one-shots that are like based on like various fairy tales and incorporating them, whether it's the same group, like if M and Ant and I told them, I was like, pick 2 other people that you want to play TNT with and invite them. But I was like, you know, whether it's the same group playing the same characters or the same group playing different characters or a different group playing different characters, I want to sort of start to build out the world and show the effect that is going on in the main series and how others have been dealing with it elsewhere in the world. Did you play Wolf? No, I haven't played Wolf Among Us, but I've seen people play it, so I'm aware of the vibes. So, in the main campaign, this has been sort of briefly touched on. There are sort of weird things that have begun to pop up. And one of the weird things has been, and I don't know that the group actually picked up on it when I had said it, but they have been these sort of weird, like almost elemental anomalies, and obviously like Fae have been popping up. And the concept for this is that the group maybe works for, the party works for some sort of maybe research group, or maybe they are contracted out by a research group, and the research group is concerned with these elemental anomalies, and they have been able to find nothing in their nothing in their libraries or in their archives about what might be causing this anomaly. However, there have been rumors about a forgotten library that's been hidden in the waste of the desert. And this is very like drawing on Avatar: The Last Airbender. And the answer to solve what is going on may lie in that library, because this library is where knowledge that has been kept for thousands and thousands of years. A lot of the information that people have, even in other places in the world, not just in Kielsiag, a lot of the information that people have right now, like where the party is in the main campaign, it only dates back about 1,000 years. So a lot of the information that was before has been lost. Is there going to be a giant owl? No, but there is going to be a giant sentient bookworm. Because like the caterpillar, you know? Alice in Wonderland, the caterpillar. You know? You know? And this library is supposedly a place where all of that forgotten knowledge, all of that knowledge that has either been destroyed for whatever reason, like no one really knows the reason that this knowledge would have been destroyed. This is where all this knowledge would be housed. It's sort of like the library of Alexandria, you know what I mean? What drug will the bookworm be smoking? I'm thinking of having him shoot up heroin. Probably pipe weed. But yeah, these are just like sort of the basic things that I've sort of written down. Black tar. Yeah, exactly. This is like what I've been sort of thinking for. I was thinking portal or cave. I know I wanted to stay away from the sort of the tropey thing with Alice in Wonderland one-shots where, oh, the party enters a portal and they're all of a sudden in a new magical land. I was thinking of perhaps a cave that had been revealed by a sandstorm being the entrance for the library. And I'm trying to like, I feel like I need to go back and like reread like Through the Looking Glass to get like more ideas. But like obviously I want to incorporate the talking door, and I was thinking of maybe making it like a talking bookshelf instead. Or we can stick to like talking door. Talking door would still fit in with like the library setting. And then I was trying to figure out how to incorporate the Cheshire Cat, because that's like my favorite character, obviously, from Alice in Wonderland. I was like an edgy 13-year-old once, you know, in the mid-2000s. And then a gallery of mirrors. And these mirrors would be the portals to different parts of the library. So it wouldn't be portals to like different places, but it would be a portal to a different part of the library. And that would probably be a puzzle in and of itself. Ooh, sentient buildings. I was also thinking of having sort of it be a little bit maze-like, where it's constantly changing and shifting. I thought that might be a cool idea to sort of add to the confusion and like the quote-unquote madness that is sort of present within Alice in Wonderland. There's technically no Sizelant. That's very true. Make him a cat librarian who is not very helpful. Please do tell me if it is a... Or you can make it a spirit. Kind of like... I like the idea of him just being like a cat. Just like a normal looking cat. Or maybe like a displacer beast. Would that be fun with like a little displacer beast, like cat, Cheshire Cat? But he won't actually like rip your throat out. He'll just be like, you're going the wrong way. I'm not going to tell you which way to go, but you're going the wrong way. Bye. I like the idea of like a life-size chess board. I'd have to incorporate, I'd have to figure out how to make that into a feasible puzzle for people to solve. Hide your keys, misplacer beast. Instead of a displacer, it's a misplacer. I like that. Oh my god, creature, I like that. I'm writing that down. Misplacer beast. I've returned with a hot dog. You got a hot dog, buddy? Or do a house mimic, a domesticated cousin to the mimics that are herbivores and just like doing their stuff, cleaning and organizing clothes if they're trope. I like the idea of mimics. Mimics, but not bitey. And then a rose garden. I like the idea of what like Kingdom Hearts did, where the different flowers sort of either made you big or made you small. I was thinking of incorporating something like that with magical roses in a rose garden. Yeah, big or small. Keep that for now. And oh, I had a thought, but it's gone away now. I was thinking maybe that money someone is going to try to eat them. Oh yeah. My campaign, we recently walked into a room where pretty much every object was a mimic. Oh, ugh. I've gotten tricked by Baldur's Gate like twice by the same ass mimic. I was like, fuck. I bungled this. I wanted to like the Mad Hatter and March Hare, but it's... I don't want to like do too... Because this setting's not very campy, you know what I mean? If it was campy, I could just like throw in like a wacky fucking person with a top hat and be like, Mad Hatter. But I want it to be very subtle in how I incorporate things. Mad librarian. Mad librarian. Overwhelmed wizard. I like that. I want to add the laughing hand. Ooh. What if it's not a what if it's not a librarian? What if it's someone who's just who has been trapped here? Trapped in the library. Someone who's been trapped in the library. Robbie! How's it going, man? Like the mad wizard? Like the mad mage? No. It kinda... maybe the party sees him at first through one of the mirrors. Maybe he is mad because of a spell gone wrong. Perhaps the memory tampering one. Memory tampering spell gone wrong. Yeah, I like that. Ooh, simulacrum. I like these ideas. Just finished playing Star Ocean 2 and it's so good. Been so long since I last played. I remember very little. And it's like playing it all over again for the very first time. Modify memory, he just forgot the letter E. Yeah, I like that. Maybe he ate one of the flowers. That could also be another reason. Something might have happened to him. Players could learn about the lore from journals he wrote and forgot about. Journals scattered throughout the library. Bookshelves, I think, would be good for the mimics. Like Cortana. Maybe the white rabbit knows his past. If it's... Maybe he says to seek the white rabbit. Oh my god. I can spell, I swear. Also, if you ever wanted to know my writing process for things, this is how I start writing things. I just... a bunch of ideas, group them together. What else was at the tea party? I'm so bad. March Hare. The March Hare and the Dormouse. He has devised a way to attempt to get his memory back by leading himself through by following the rabbit. Yeah, and I have to figure out what the white rabbit would actually be. Ooh, a familiar. A white elephant race guy. White rabbit. Familiar, maybe a spirit. I'm having a Jay, are you doing okay? So the party would enter in through the cave opening. What if Eluxidon. What if the party was led to the cave opening by a white rabbit, or at least what they thought was a white rabbit? Led party to cave thing. Like they're just like wandering through the desert, and all of a sudden they see like this white rabbit sitting on like a sand dune, and it kind of just like looks at them. And they're like, "What the fuck? Rabbits don't belong here." And then they just start following it, and all of a sudden it like delves into like this little alcove area where they enter through a cave and stumble upon the library. This cube. It'd be a humanoid with a rabbit head. Johnny, I think that's a little too foreboding. Did you smell toast? Hey, Storm, how's it going, man? I think I just hit you guys with an ad. Very sorry. A Donnie fucking Darko. Shit sandwich of a day. I need a hug. Virtual hug. You only get one though, so I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope your day gets a little better.
I too.
Thanks,
shall bestow a
Monian.
gift on the child.
Thinking of other characters that might. It's like I don't want to incorporate every character because it gets a little too on the nose. Like this is just supposed to be like loosely inspired by Alice in Wonderland. It's not supposed to be like a play-by-play of Alice in Wonderland. And like I also don't want to force things if they don't make sense. And then who created the library? I would say adjacent to the Red Queen. You got it. Yeah, there's gonna be some weird potion effects. There's gonna be some weird flowers going on. Right now, I'm thinking of one of the puzzles is going to be within a gallery of mirrors where the mirrors lead to different parts of the library, but you have to figure out which one to go through in order to get where you need to go. I haven't worked out, obviously, the logistics of that, but that's just like the basic idea. I also wanted to do like a life-size chessboard. But I have to figure out like the logistics of how that sort of puzzle would work in a D&D setting. One, because I don't know how to play chess, so it's like if I'm like I'm not doing that, you know. I'm not doing that. And then the Rose Garden is where things get a little wonky, little topsy-turvy. Do you have a hookah smell? So I do, so it's gonna be a bookworm. And I'm debating whether that's going to be, like, the actual, like, monster they have to defeat because he's the one that, like, guards all of the knowledge. So that's going to be a fun little homebrew monster I can do. Seems like you have your eyes wide open. The bookworm's drug of choice is just smudging. He's just sitting there reading ACOTAR. Fae Queen with ties to the Sandalfie Wilds. Not taken away into the wilds when the sealing occurred. Imanchin, dude. He's in a top of pile of Chuck Tinkle feasting upon all of the thrown away Twilight books. So for anyone who doesn't know, in the world that I have, and I can't call it Kyosha because that's actually just the country, the continent name. The Fae have been sealed away. And that means obviously like there's no Fae around. Like I told my players, I was like, you cannot even choose Fae as an option. Any sort of Fae being as an option. No fairy, no changeling, no Firbolg, no Eladrin. Because they're, as far as like everyone's aware, they don't exist. So I'm thinking that maybe the person who had created the library is perhaps some sort of Fae being who was not sealed into the wilds. Counted in the butt by my metaphor of a metaphor. Strahd? What you mean? Rose Garden. That's the twist. You release on the library. It's like I'm just imagining like a DM screen, right? That's like all like sort of like Fae like inspired and everything. And at the end of the one shot, I take that screen down and I just put up like a Curse of Strahd screen, and I'm like, welcome to Curse of Strahd. And then I've revealed to my players that I've actually led them into an actual campaign now. Fae being Red Queen, Hag. A hag. Hag? Get catfished. I like that all four queens are a coven. Hmm. What if? Thanks, Dizzy. Thanks for stopping in, man. I big appreciate you. Have a good rest of your night. What if... So if there's like 4 areas in the library that they have, like the party has to venture to, and there's a queen within each of the sections, and it kind of plays by like card suits almost, very similar to like the Alice in Wonderland like movie, the Disney movie, not Tim Burton. And that's like that. It's like basically the hags had formed a coven, and that is what protected them from the sealing. The Mad Hatter is the King of Spades trying to escape. Hey, how's it going, man? We are currently discussing an Alice in Wonderland inspired one shot that doesn't quite lean in so heavily to the trope of like everyone being transported into the Feywild and everything's weird and kooky and inspired by Hag. Or the Mad Hatter is the joke. I mean, he is a joker. 4 hags. 4 sections of the library. Actually, that makes sense since there are 2 jokers in a deck, and the Hatter and the Simulacrum. Trying to think. I like the Simulacrum idea. And it could be like the Mad Hatter, like, and the Simulacrum could actually kind of represent the March Hare, quote unquote. And it would really just be him like having conversations with what appears to be himself. Going to run my campaign opener before the holidays, and we're treating it like a one-shot. Nice! Feel free to like tell me the premise. I actually did that. I sort of did that for this campaign currently. You can see right here. I had written this. Eventually, this will turn into this. I had written this entire one-shot as a prequel to the campaign that we're currently running. So this one shot takes place 1,000 years before the main campaign. Like the toy maker from Spy Kids. Yeah, but look at all this stuff. You guys did all that. This is everyone's epilogues. I was in that and I fear. Time for pets. Am I? Bro, I deadass don't know where the fuck she is. BBG is the author of the story. You mean Lewis Carroll? I think he actually was a big bad guy. I think he like touched little kids. Am I? I just seen she's gone like the wind, dude. She said, zoom in. If she comes back, we'll give her a nice little pat. Nice little pat on the head. My next one is the one I spew about on Threads. It's called. Oh yes, okay, yes. I've listened to the to some of the stuff I've seen you post. Eberron 5e, Wild West Grit, Eldritch Horror, Devils and Hells, Cryptids. Oh. Bro, I love a good cryptid. I really want to be in like a cryptid game. Like a cryptid based. Like Mothman, Bigfoot. Okay, Ad. Thanks for hanging out, man. I think we're probably gonna end here soon anyway. I think I've been going for about 2.5 hours. And I promised Evandale I'd write into them since I abandoned the game tonight. I want to run it. Yeah, I want to be a little cryptid hunter, or maybe a cryptid. Strahd is perfect for cryptids. It is. Yeah, there's so many games I want to run. And I also want to run like a lot of things outside of D&D. Good night, Ad. Thanks for hanging, man. Have a good rest of your night. I've got little. Oh, that's really cute. I'm going to run a vampire game. Oh my god, I'm very excited. I think we had talked about perhaps doing some more vampire stuff in the new year, so I'm excited for that. About the G.I. Joe, I did not Creature, I didn't even realize there was a G.I. Joe fucking game. That's wild. 100% not an input. No, definitely not. Completely planned. I had bought a bunch of I bought they were free on Drive-Thru RPG. So I got Cairn. I got Bluebeard's Pride, which I think is I don't know if that's a supplement or not. And then I got Vaesen because that was free. I think it still should be free as well. Mothman under the... Oh my god, Mothman under the... I am Mothman. I'm Mothman in a human suit, unfortunately. Unfortunately. I'd love Vampire, and like in the year I'd like to run for people. Yeah, I love... I want to play more Vampire. I just can't do like long games anymore. I'm a one-shot miniseries bitch now. I can't commit to long series anymore. I'm like burnt out on them. I think the only ones I'll do are like my own. I'll take a pic. Yes, please. Oh god, no. I'm a mini series goyle. All right, guys. I think this is kind of like a good spot to end it. You can get tighter story with, yeah. That's why I'm doing, sure. That's sort of why I'm doing, like, volumes. So there's going to be 5 volumes with between 6 to 10 chapters, each. Because I want it to be very, I want it to be very plot heavy. And I want it also to be very character heavy. And I feel like by doing that and by making sure that the plot's really kind of tightly written, I can ensure that the players are getting what they want out of it. I feel like if I sort of just left them with a sandbox, I feel like it wouldn't be as conducive to that. Anyway. I also voice threaded my opener. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to those. I've listened to a couple of them when they pop up on my feed, but I feel like the threads, I mean, there's not really an algorithm because they usually just they usually will gift me what I want to see. But sometimes people are posting and I'm like, I don't see you on, and I follow you and I'm like, I don't see you at all ever. Not you in particular, but just some other people that I follow. Anyway, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Yes, please tag me. What do we got coming up the rest of the week? Tomorrow we are off because I am EP. So I will be off tomorrow. But you can catch us back here Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern for session 3 of All We've Lost, which is my D&D 5e homebrew campaign. And then I will be back to my regularly scheduled program next week on Monday. I didn't realize you took days off. I know, me neither. Me neither, Aunt. Sometimes I just be here, day in, day out. Vibrates violently. Thank you, creature.
Come on, Bokuto. We need to stay calm here.
But we are going to go raid over into Evandale. If you do not follow Evandale, please make sure to give them a follow. I am over there normally on Thursdays, but we had canceled and then they uncanceled for a side quest, but I was already streaming by the time that they had said that. So we're going to go raid on over to them as my apology to them for abandoning them. But yeah, I will hopefully see you guys on Saturday. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me. And I normally don't do like these map making kind of writing sessions. I want to do them more, but I also fear because a lot of my players in the games that I do watch me. So I don't want to like spoil them accidentally with things. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I will talk to you later and have a good rest of your night. Bye.